This is Jesus series, part 2. Jesus is not just a preacher or a teacher. He is also a healer. If he touches you, you are blessed. And if you touch him, you are also blessed. Matthew 8, verse 3. Jesus was not moved by visibility or what people will say. Most times, he will heal people and tell them not to tell others. Matthew chapter 8, verse 3 and verse 5. You see, everything Jesus did is from his will. Miracles happen when he is willing to let it happen. You know, there was never a time where he did something because he was forced or he had no choice. No. Everything Jesus did was by his will. When I say by his will, it means by the will of his Father. Because Jesus have so mingled with God that if Jesus is eating, it's because God wanted him to eat. So all those things you see Jesus do, the miracles he performed, he did that because his Father actually wanted him to do it. So, and he's a man that was not affected by visibility. He's not concerned about what people will say, trying to become popular. No. He will heal a person and still tell the person, please tell no man. Hardly do we have preachers that can do that today because everybody wants to be known. Especially when you do a spectacular miracle, you want to take it online. You want people to see you did it, even when you are not the one that did it. It is God that worketh in us, both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Consider that point in Matthew chapter 8, verse 7. There was no time Jesus was forced to do anything. Everything he did was by the will of his Father. The only thing that can move Jesus is faith. The only thing that can move him is faith. The first thing Jesus marveled, the first thing Jesus marveled about was a great faith. The first time you see Jesus surprised was when a great faith was displayed. Jesus is a great figure. So that's why you will need a great faith. That is a faith that is equal to his worth to move him. A great faith moves a great personality. So Jesus is a great personality, and you will need a faith that is equal to the worth of his personality to move him. So when I say great faith, I'm saying the kind of faith that is equal to his worth, his own worth. That's what will move him, and that is the great faith. Matthew chapter 8, verse 10. Jesus blesses people according to the measure of their faith. So even when Jesus has unlimited blessings in store, you may come to him and still get limited blessings if your faith is limited. If your faith is small, you may not get big things. If you come before him because if you come before him with a small capacity, you may not go back with a big miracle. Your capacity to receive is what will define what you can receive. Matthew 8, verse 13. Jesus was an active missionary. He moves from places to places, blessing people without a permanent house for himself. Matthew 8, verse 20. The first call of Jesus was a call to follow. It is when you follow, the first call of Jesus is a call to follow. The first call of Jesus is usually a call to follow. It is when you follow that you will become a disciple. There is no excuse for not following God. When it comes to followership, The dead can bury their dead. You get it? The dead can bury their dead. That's when Jesus told somebody, say, follow me. He said, somebody died, I need to bury. They say, what? I said, follow me. You are telling me somebody died. Let the dead bury their dead. I know if you are the one there that day, you'll be like, what's this man saying? The dead bury their dead? Can a dead person bury? Meanwhile, there is something Jesus is saying that is deeper than just the word you heard. Now, the dead here is you. The dead here are your needs. Sorry. The dead that Jesus is referring to here are your needs and your wants. Now, burying their dead here means settling or sorting themselves. So don't bother about your needs, just follow him. Those things will sort themselves. So when Jesus is saying, let the dead bury their dead, he's equally saying, let your needs sort themselves. Let your wants sort themselves. So when you want to follow Jesus, you need to be ready to allow the dead bury themselves. Meaning that you need to follow him, and as you do that, you will see that your dead will bury themselves. Meaning your needs will sort themselves. When you follow Jesus, your dead will bury themselves. Meaning your needs will sort themselves, your want will sort themselves. So those things you need, as you follow faithfully, they'll begin to fall in place. You need a car, it will come. You won't even struggle for it. That is the dead burying themselves. This is exactly what Jesus was trying to say by the dead burying their dead. The dead was used to refer to your needs because they are already settled. That's why you see the word dead was used. Dead. Dead is not a present tense. We have die. After die, then you have dead. So your needs is referred to as the dead because that's no longer present, that is past. So that's pointing to the fact that your needs are already met. For the fact that you are in need of them does not mean they are not met. They are already met, but you will not come into the reality that you will not come into that reality until you follow. So when you follow that, you will know that those things you are actually craving for are things that Jesus have handled. Yes. That it is a need to you does not mean God has not settled it. Solution will follow you as you follow him. Solution will follow you as you follow him. Matthew 8 verse 22. Jesus was also a tormentor. He is a savior to the world, a Lord to his disciples, and a tormentor to unrepenting demonic spirits. I'll come again. Jesus is a savior to the world. He is a Lord to his disciples and a tormentor to unrepenting demonic spirits. Matthew 8:29.